This is the Chamber Link, connecting community, creating impact with Tyler Fischbach.
Welcome to the show, everybody, and this has already been a lot of fun. We have 5 people in here today, which we haven't done yet before, and it's making me sweat a little bit. It's a little warm in here, but this is going to be an exciting episode. Today, we're going to talk about the Chamber's Young Professionals Network, and we're actually also going to get more specific into an upcoming annual event that the YPN does. It's called the YP Summit. And so I'm looking forward to this conversation today with the leaders who've been in YPN for a while, and of course, our director of programs. And I'll introduce them just one second, but I wanted to read something quickly, and this is actually from our website, but I thought it kind of could paint a picture of the Young Professionals Network. The Young Professionals Network, or YPN, you'll hear us say YPN a lot today, is a community of members across the FMWF region that provides the connections, skills, and opportunities needed to thrive personally and professionally. Whether young professionals are looking to expand their professional circles, develop their leadership skills, or contribute to the region's growth, YPN provides the tools, support, and opportunities they need to thrive and drive positive change in the FMWF area. I like this sentence too. YPN is built on a powerful belief. A community influenced by young professionals is a community that attracts and retains them. And I know, Satari, we were here just a couple of months ago talking about the leadership program, which was another fun conversation. And for me, personally, having been a part of both programs, leadership and YPN, the similarity for me, the huge takeaway would be the connections that you get to make in this program and how life-changing that can be, whether it's friends, professional connections, or just having phone numbers in your phone to have people to text or call. That is a game changer. It's kind of like the difference between just having a job here that you go to and having a career that you're fulfilled in a community that you're ingrained in. And so I love that aspect of both of these programs, and I'm sure we'll dive into that. But now I will introduce our guests. We have Cassandra Duckworth, and she is with Jeremiah program, and Cassandra is a YPN committee member. And next to her, we have Victoria Canaderis. Did I get that right? I was nervous about that. Okay. And Victoria is with Legal Services ND, and Victoria is the YP Summit chair this year. And we have Kevin Bauer. Kevin is also a YPN committee member. In his professional role, he is with Ag Week. And of course, we have returning to the show, Satari Campion, our director of programs at the Chamber. So thank the 4 of you for being here today. I'm looking forward to this. And maybe, Satari, maybe I'll start with you to set the stage.
Sure.
Can you explain, even just from your perspective, what is the Young Professionals Network to somebody who's maybe never even heard of it before?
Sure. Yeah, that's such a great question. YPN, or Young Professionals Network, it's a member organization. So it's something that you can join once you get into your first job, or even if you're still in college. But it's an organization that you can join that does a lot of networking, a lot of opportunity to get plugged into the community with business tours and volunteer opportunities. And we do fun stuff too, just like socials. Next, in a couple weeks, we have like a mystery lunch. And it's really just a way. So fun fact, I'm filling in for maternity leave. So I don't normally get to hang out with YPN as much as I've been able to. One of the things that I'm learning about the program is young professionals come to our community, or they graduate from college and they're staying here, and they want to elevate their circles. They want to find new friends. They want to deepen the friendships they have. And it's less around being young and socializing. It's more around what is that next step in my life. And so I think that it checks all those boxes. It gives you new people, it deepens your old connections, and it's honestly just a lot of fun too. So
it is a lot of fun. And maybe let's just cut right to the chase. And Victoria, I'll start with you because you're the YP Summit chair. Yeah, pressure's on. But I want to know, because this is year 2 of the summit, correct? This is the second year. So from your perspective as a committee member and being the chair, how did this come to be, and what's the importance of doing the summit? Because as Satari mentioned, we have all of these socials and things going on already, but why do something once a year that elevates the program? I'm just curious what the committee's thought was behind this to get this rolling.
So this is the committee's first year actually planning it. I think it started more the chamber at large, but bringing it more to YPN, I think the thought was you can have all these little events, but having a bigger, broader event that brings people from other places, not just Cass County or Moorhead, the Fargo-Moorhead area, you get that wider perspective, that wider network of people that you can connect with, learn from, guide. I mean, you're getting young professionals that are at the end of their, young professional stint all the way down to just starting. And so getting that connection on a broader basis and having somewhere where you can learn throughout the entire day is way, it gives you a bigger opportunity than just an hour-long session with someone or an hour-long session with that professional. And so that was kind of the thought behind it, I think.
That's really cool. And so what you're saying is you don't have to have been in YPN for, let's say, 3 years to be a part of this. So newcomers could totally take advantage of this and thrive.
And it's not just for people that are part of the chamber. And so we are actually advertising it to people that aren't chamber members. If you're a chamber member, you get a discount. And right now you can do sort of like a sale where you get a benefit if you join both at the same time. And so we're trying to bring it to the greater Fargo-Moorhead area, the greater North Dakota region, so we have more professionals, more networking, and we really want to just give people the opportunity to grow in their personal and professional lives.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. And this is wild because time flies when we get to chatting. We're at our first break, so we're going to do that, and then we're just going to jump into what can people expect at this year's summit. I'm looking forward to that and what people are going to take away from it. So we will be right back after this break. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are talking about the Chamber's YP Summit today, which is coming up in October. This is October 8th, right, Satari?
Yep.
October 8th from 8:30 to 4 p.m., and this is at the Hilton Garden Inn.
Yeah.
And so what we're about to do during this segment is just kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what the day is going to look like. So, Kevin, do you want to kick us off with what people can expect when they show up on the 8th?
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of kicking off the summit is with after welcomes is the first speaker, Christy Huber, really well-known leader in the Fargo-Moorhead community. I mean, she's kind of been in a lot of different areas, and as far as with United Way as well as Blue Cross Blue Shield. And now she's started her own business called Perspective Shift Consulting. So that's been very helpful in the world, and just kind of helping people with a lot of the issues that YPN or people that are in that stage of life are kind of experiencing, and kind of using real life experience, but also transitioning how she overcame those things. So it's been really valuable, and she's a personal friend of mine actually. So it's very I'm excited to listen to her and kind of learn a little bit more about her story.
Well, and I think also, just real quick, Christy just gave a presentation at Women Connect,
She
and
did.
I didn't go to that. I had to miss that one, unfortunately. But I mean, to say she's well received was an understatement. I think that was a sold out crowd, but I just wanted to throw that in there.
I'll jump in too. If you were at Women Connect and you're coming to YP Summit, she's going to cover some of the same material but elevate it. So it's almost like as part two. If you weren't at Women Connect, it's going to be brand new, but it's going to be super impactful. I was in the room. I left with really just clarity, and that's kind of her thing, is like clarity and kind of owning your journey. So it's going to be really, really good.
Yep, that's fantastic. And I should give Christy a shout out too for being a chamber board member. Thank you, Christy. So
Woo.
yeah, her leadership is everywhere in the community. But yeah, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off. Or if you guys want to get into the next, I know there are breakout sessions too during this. So yeah, if you guys want to jump into that, feel free.
Yeah, I can take one of the breakout sessions. One of the first breakout sessions in the morning is going to be on a board service panel. So we're going to have Marissa Nygaard, Erin Hill, and Sharon Full, some leaders from the community, joining us to talk about service in the nonprofit world. So being the operations manager at Jeremiah program, this is obviously something that's near and dear to my heart, and getting involved in the nonprofits in our community. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from them and learning, how they got involved in nonprofits and how they found the boards to serve on, what they're gaining from that and what they're contributing to those nonprofits. So as a young professional, I'm really excited to learn how I can continue to give back to the community through board service in a nonprofit.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. And maybe you can speak to this, or all of you guys. I know I've had that throughout my career. I remember my first board, I was like, holy smokes. I was nervous about it. Wasn't sure if it was even the right fit. Like, am I just saying yes to say yes, or saying no because I'm scared? And so that, I could see that being very valuable, right?
Yeah. And what I really love about the committee is they've got people at various walks in their journey. Shannon being the president and CEO at the chamber, people maybe on the show are familiar with her. She's got experience on a board, but also sitting with a board and working with the board. Erin serves in various capacities with the park board, and Marissa was selected. I think she is on her first appointment on a board. So she's also just really just stepped into that role. So no matter where you're at on the journey, it should hit you in some way.
Yep, absolutely. That will. Okay, breakout session. So how does this work? So there's a keynote kickoff, then there's a breakout session. So attendees will either choose the board service one, or what's another option that they have for that first segment in the morning?
Yeah, so the second option they have is DJ Coulter, so take a chance. So that's kind of just, if you know DJ, he's very well received in the community and has kind of done a variety of different roles as far as nonprofits for business ownership, been in a variety of different roles. So it's just an option or opportunity just to visit with somebody that's kind of been in various roles and just kind of learning from them and just taking a step into that direction, because it can be kind of scary, especially when you're starting out in your career, and just taking that first step is what they say is the biggest thing. So I think there will be a lot of key takeaways from him, and as I say, nuggets that'll transition to kind of all areas. Like I say, it's very diligent on the speakers, so just covering a lot of areas that way.
Mm-hmm. And again, I would even selfishly, if I were an attendee, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this one, but it's like getting to be able to meet people, like whether it's that board service panel or DJ, that in itself is pretty cool. Like going back to the connection thing.
Yeah.
And so even if the content, even if you don't listen or you zone out, just having like, hey, DJ, nice to meet you. Now you're connected with him.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool too.
And DJ is so excited to just like lead a conversation.
Yep.
He doesn't want to talk at a group for the hour. He's like, we're going to be chatting. We're going to be working. We're going to be, workshopping. And like you said, Kevin, the nuggets are going to be juicy. It's going to be good stuff.
So bring your notepads.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do I have this right? After that will be a lunch break, which of course will be fantastic.
Great,
I assume
yep.
that's networking and
Who
lunch.
doesn't love lunch?
Yeah, Chipotle. Are you having Chipotle?
No.
Yeah. And then we get into other breakout sessions. So, Satari, do you want to kick off what people can expect for kind of the part 2 of the day?
Definitely. With part 2, one of the options is Tanner Palm, and he's going to talk about AI. So, really, that applicable. If you're looking to elevate yourself in your role and know more about AI, it's not going to necessarily be like, here's what ChatGPT is. We're hoping that it can be more like, here are some ways that you can elevate your email writing. Here's ways that you can take and actually use AI, and maybe ways to not use AI and things like that. So really that if you have I don't know, what's the word? You really just want to like lock in and get some skill elevation.
Yep.
This would be a good one for that.
Yep. That is pretty cool. We were here with, oh my gosh, Kelly, I can't remember his last name, Mortensen, and Joe Sandine from OnSharp, maybe just a few weeks ago, leading up to our tech summit. And it can be a little overwhelming with all the AI tools that are out there, but Joe had a good piece of information, and you kind of touched on this, where it's not about going all the way deep into every single little tool yet, but just thinking about, okay, how can this make me a 20% better employee? Or even in your personal life too. I know people use it in many ways to help the odds and ends in personal life. So that's a pretty cool session. And Victoria, I know you know Erica with the second breakout session. Do you want to talk a little bit about what she will be discussing?
Yeah, so Erica Johnsrud is going to be talking about imposter syndrome, and this seemed to be a theme that we saw feedback from the last summit, and it sort of resonated with a lot of our YPs right now because, like I said, we're going into that transition where some of them are getting further in their career, and when you start your career, you have that feeling of like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I got to pretend like I know what I'm doing and fake it till you make it. But then you get to the next stage where now you're getting elevated in your career and you're like, wait, I still don't know what I'm doing. Got to fake it till I make it. And so we really want to talk about how sometimes having imposter syndrome isn't really the worst thing, but how to like cope with it and really be confident in what you're doing and confident in your skill, and realizing that sometimes you don't have imposter syndrome. You're just, feeling a little insecure about your position, even though you do know what you're doing. So.
Yeah. And well, this is me going off script a little bit. I'm curious. Have you had a moment that you remember where you're like, oh my gosh, where it's like you'd classify it as imposter syndrome. Have you ever had that? And how did you get over that?
Still working on it. I recently changed jobs. I went from private practice to working for Legal Services in North Dakota as an attorney, as a nonprofit. And in my shift, I also shifted from just being a regular old attorney to now training and having people follow what I do. And I'm like, why are you following me? Do I know what I'm doing? I probably do, for all those people that are my clients out there. But it is that insecurity of like, am I good enough for this? And I think the biggest thing about having that feeling is having people around you and having that network to reassure you in those moments and build you back up. And I think that really is what this whole summit is made to help you do. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. And I'm curious, too, do any of you have a story you want to share? This is always something I'm interested to hear from other people, because it can be kind of overwhelming at times when you feel that. Even if you're searching for a job, maybe you're like, I'm not good enough, my resume doesn't look good enough. And if nobody has a story they want to share, but I'm just always curious how people kind of go through that journey personally. So thank you for sharing and letting me put you on the spot there.
It's all good. It's out there.
Okay, so that's Erica Johnsrud. She's going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Yeah. And then after that, what do we have? We have a break, and then, it looks like, and then is it the Neon Unicorns after that? Okay,
yeah.
Tell me about this, because we all know these guys and love these guys. So what are they going to be talking about?
Yeah, so they are going to be talking, it kind of like wraps everything up that we just talked about. So they're going to talk about how success is a state of mind, and really go, I mean, if you've ever seen these guys talk or even just met them on the golf course or anything, you're gonna leave feeling pretty pumped up. And so the whole sentiment of the final keynote is just to feel more confident in yourself and more confident in your journey, and just being pumped up about where you're about to go. And I think I don't want to give it away, because like they're just perfect, but it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're entertaining.
Yes.
So entertaining.
I know they've hosted the Chamber Choice Awards for, at least a couple of years, maybe even 3.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, they have good energy.
I'm just excited to see their outfits too.
Ooh, if they're listening.
Yes.
Outfits,
yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of the wrap up of the agenda. And then Scampy, what happens after that? It looks like there's a reflection time, and then maybe a social.
Yeah, so we're just gonna leave space for people to talk to those around them, think about what you've been. I don't know if you've ever been to a conference before, and you end the day and it almost feels like you got hit by a bus, and it's like, what did I just do? And so we are building in time and space to breathe and just think about it. Maybe make a list of the things that impacted you the most, the people you want to follow up with, the ways that you want to move forward. And then it's kind of like an impromptu. People will head over to Lucky 13s if you want to keep having fun and connecting. It's just a great way to do it. It's not on here. And what I want to note, make a special call out. We also have a pre-social the night before that's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn. So if you're like me and you like to go check out the parking, where you're going, not be surprised on the day of a big new thing.
Fair.
Come check that out. I believe that's at 5:15, and it's literally just to come. If you want to grab a drink. People will be hanging out. Meet someone who's also going to be there the next day. That way you don't come as a stranger. You have the people that you are going to hang out with for a day. So
that's cool. I didn't know that. When it's almost like, having a cocktail party before a wedding, right? You get to like meet people, loosen up a little bit, and you're like, oh, look, that's Jeff over there. So it can definitely help the nerves for a long conference day. All right, we're to our second break, so we're going to get to the news, and then we will be back to chat about more YPN. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. And we just got done diving into the YP Summit that's coming up. So thank you guys for sharing all about that and teasing what's to come. I appreciate that. And I think what we'll do now, I was having this thought. I'm curious about, because we have committee leadership over here with YPN and chairing the event, and chamber leadership over here. Cassandra, I'll start with you. What led you to want to be a part of, I guess, being on the committee? And maybe if you want to share about your YPN journey, I'm pretty interested in that from all of you. But Cassandra, we'll start with you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I had been attending some YPN events, just kind of in the background, checking it out, went to a few new member socials, hung out with some people, and it was really nice to kind of expand my community like we've talked about with this group and just really meet some people. I came to Fargo to go to college, go into SU, and, after graduating, was really just looking for my place. So after kind of stumbling around for a little bit, found the YPN, like I said, started attending some events, and within the last year decided, this is a good thing. I want to be a part of this and get more involved. So started talking to some people, figuring out how I can get involved, join some of the committees, and I'm actually part of the leadership program this fall as well. So finding those different ways to, really make those connections has been really valuable. I went to the summit last year, and at that time I was about 6 months postpartum and just really trying to figure out who I was now as a new mom, as a leader, as someone in this community. So it was just really valuable to make some of those connections, especially with the young leaders in the room, who many of which are also young parents. So that's what I found really valuable about this group, and I'm just excited to be here and be part of it.
That's awesome. And congrats on being in the leadership group.
Thank you.
I know it's not easy to get into that. I mean, there are definitely steps. So congrats. And I hope you have a fantastic year.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. And shout out to Satari for making it a great group as well.
We're having so much fun. We've only had one session, but it was a good one.
Oh, yeah. And we took your headshots too that time.
Yeah.
That was a fun session.
Yeah. Everyone is so fun. Everyone apply for the leadership program. We open applications in the spring. Next.
Next. Okay, Victoria, how about you?
Well, I'm actually from Winnipeg, Canada, so I joined the chamber in YPN probably my second or third year being an attorney, and I just really wanted to meet people that weren't just like other lawyers. Like, everyone who's a lawyer probably knows that we're really boring sometimes, and I just wanted to get to know people that were outside of that world. And I went to a couple morning buzzes, and then I started going to more events, and then COVID happened, and that kind of like derailed everything. But then when I came back, which was probably 2022, I brought some friends with me, and then I was like, you know what? I did the just attending thing. I want to get more involved. And so at the new member social where you can learn about different committees, I was like, all right, sign me up. Which one should I do? And then I talked to some people, and they were like, well, these are what each committee does. You can go to either one and just feel it out, or you can just sign up for the one that you think is going to fit you best. And so I signed up for one. I met with the chair, and I was like, all right, sold. And yeah, still here.
That's good. But I'm curious too. I know we were chatting about the board service thing just a little bit ago. What is the time commitment like for you being on the YPN committee? Because I know that always goes through people's minds too. Like, oh my God, do I have time to even do this during work or after work?
Yeah, so I've been the chair for probably more than what I signed up for. So I'm probably good at speaking for this, but so the committees each meet once a month, and it's usually about an hour. That sounds really boring and really like a lot of work to schedule 1 hour with a bunch of people, but it ends up being like some people go and have, meet at happy hour. Some people go and have morning coffee. And so you're really meeting in an informal setting and just having fun while planning these great events. But then if you're a chair, you're also part of the YPN leadership committee, and so that's another meeting, 1 more hour a month. We try and make it to most meetings, but we all know that life comes up, and so I think the biggest thing is, as an adult, that we learn is communication is key. And so everyone knows that your job comes first, but making a commitment is part of, I think, keeping those connections. And so that's like the key there is you make the commitment, you keep that commitment as long as it's possible, obviously. So it's not a huge, overarching commitment, but it's doable.
Yeah, doesn't sound so bad. I mean, a commitment's a commitment, definitely. But
Right.
yeah, it's not like a 15-hour a month
No.
commitment
And
when your boss starts to get mad at you because you're never in the office.
Yeah, no, that's like the next point as an employer. I think you can look at it as like professional development
Yep.
for your employee too,
Yep.
because like those meetings, they're learning like crucial skills with like running a meeting or public speaking, getting on the radio, getting to get your business name out there. Because I do have a lot of people ask me that question of like, well, how do I sell this to my employer? And it's like, they should be the ones that are probably the most excited. I mean, it's great. It's a free, besides the 1-year membership fee, like a free opportunity to really elevate your employees. So
Yep,
It
that was
is
a good
cool.
addition. How about you, Kevin? What's been your path into YPN and why you decided to be a part of the committee structure now?
Yeah. So I guess kind of Satari, or piggybacking off of Satari, my employer actually encouraged me to reach out and join the YPN just because I was very much like anybody else. That was graduated college, and you kind of had your college friends, and everybody kind of goes every different direction. So just trying to find new connections in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and to like just different walks of life, because there could be people that are in, and sales is what I do professionally, but there's people that are in lawyers or in banking or different areas that I wouldn't normally connect with on a regular basis. So it was kind of my driving factor, and a lot of times it was relationships I still hold true today, that I'm able to reach out to them, or connect as far as networking, as far as giving them if it's leads or things like that. I've developed relationships, so that was kind of the biggest thing, was just being able to develop relationships with people versus just you see them one event and then they're gone the next. It was you get a kind of a core group of friends, as well as being able to be a part of the committees and different things. So as I kind of went in, I just got asked, and I had friends in committees, so I just kind of started out that way, and then I actually was the chair of the corporate cup committee, so I was been on that committee probably the longest aspect of things. So I kind of had the background in event planning. That's kind of what I started. I just wanted to learn about how event planning, or if that's a skill that I would need in the future. So it's building off that. And then with this, the YP Summit, it's another event. It's just a little different pivot point for having professional networking versus athletic accomplishments, those types of things with corporate cup. So both kind of have similar but different objectives, but also very, very good experiences, and be able to share those relationships throughout the past, what would you say, 8 years, something like that. So
wow, yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you've ever been to corporate cup, Kev's got cutoffs usually. He's driving the water cart, making all the connections.
Sunblock on his nose. Yeah.
you got to.
We don't have any fun.
No, we don't have any fun with it. So that's the secondary piece of it. You have a lot of fun, being a part of it and embracing that. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Corporate Cup. I don't know if we were planning on talking about this, but that's a massive event.
Huge. Yeah.
But that's got to be pretty fun to put together. What is that? How many people help you plan that?
Oh gosh. Well, the committee is like roughly 10,
Okay.
Yep.
10 people. We have a chair and a vice chair. And then it's a lot of help from the chamber as well. So our events and programs team steps up and helps with a lot of that. But yeah, I would say roughly like 10 to 15 volunteers from YPN putting on an event for over 1,000 people, 64 teams, over 100 volunteers. It's like when you take a step back and look at what Corporate Cup is. So if anyone's listening, they don't know what it is. It's like a competition day for businesses. It's meant to be team building and networking, friendly competition.
Yes.
And we've like kickball, tug of war. We've got some just like more strategy games. And it's like field day for adults. So fun, but a huge lift that the committee puts on, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
could not do it without them.
Yeah, and it's a good team bonding, especially for companies, because it's like, well, how can we get our team closer? It's like, playing tug of war. You get to see, your whole team, and you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly that way. So that's
That's fair.
So
See
fun.
what Kevin's really made of. When
Yeah,
you're at
put
tug
them in
of
the
war.
back.
Okay, we're going to hit our last break of the day, and we're going to come back and we'll surprise you with what we talk about next. So we'll be back. Welcome back to our last segment of the day. We're here chatting about the YP Summit coming up, and this is a part of the Chamber's Young Professionals Network. And Satari, I just want to make sure people know where they can find the info, where they can go to register, how to register, any details that we need to do just so people know what to do and they can get involved.
Right. You've heard all of the goodness, and now you are itching to know how to register. So if you go onto the Chamber website, fmwfchamber.com, you click on the Programs tab. You can go down to YP Summit and click in. So I just want to cover, we do have member versus non-member pricing. So what that means is to join the YPN, there is a membership fee. It's like $45 or $55 for a whole year, and that includes like socials and different fun things that we do. But then the pricing for the summit, the conference, for members of YPN, it's $175. For not yet members of YPN, it is $190, or you can add an all-inclusive YP Summit and 14-month membership for $245. So you're basically getting member pricing for YP Summit and a membership plus 2 free months. So it is the best bang for your buck. I was just talking to someone about the lineup at YP Summit, and it's like $245 for this lineup is like unheard of. So even if you're getting it at $175 or $190, I mean, Neon Unicorns, Christy Huber, DJ Coulter, literally all of them. I should just list them again. But it's a great value for what your employees will get. So head over to the website, and it's all lives right there. And on top of that, and I'll let them speak to it a little bit, if you're not ready to like go all in and register for the YP Summit, but you want to check out something else, we have some events coming up in September. One of you want to talk about that? What we have coming up?
Yeah, so we have Breakfast Club coming up. We do it at Kingpin's. I believe it starts at 8 a.m.
8:15.
8:15. Move it back because 8 a.m. is like a little early. And really, we're just finding a place to connect, have some coffee, and get to know each other. It's really just an informal place to connect with people before you go to work.
Yeah, we do some structured networking. So if you're like really shy, we do like push you into it. But you can come alone and you'll be like connected with someone else right away. It's great.
And you were mentioning too, I just want to reiterate this one more time, that pre-social event is something people can go to. Again, if they're not quite sure, we want to just make sure they're ready for the conference. So that's the night before.
The night before at the Hilton, so same venue at 5:15.
Yep.
Because seriously, have you ever gone somewhere and it's like, I don't know what the parking situation's going to be like? What if I walk in the wrong door? What if I don't know anyone and I like fall down? Who's going to pick me up? So this is to like take away all of that. Come, if you fall down the night before, then you have something to laugh about the next day with your buddies and just like have fun,
Yep.
And going to a conference is just like scary in and of itself. And so knowing someone at the conference, or even if you don't really get to know a lot of people, but you just say hi to a couple people and have a friendly face, like you're not sitting by yourself anymore. You're sitting with people that you've met already.
So true.
So
well, and if all of you are going to be there, then they kind of already know who you guys are because we've had a good conversation about it today. So these 3-4 can be your beacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be there smiling.
Yep.
We'll be there ready to have a great time.
Okay, here is a question that just came to mind, and anybody can take it. I don't need to single anybody out. But I think about programs like Leadership that you're in right now and YPN, and I think about a lot of the Chamber's big focuses, right? Whether it's economic development, economic vibrancy, workforce. I mean, just that word alone, that's been at the top of the Chamber's list for years and years. How do you guys think that programs such as YPN feed into the large efforts of making people want to move here or want to stay here? Or maybe another way to ask it is, what's the danger to a community if they don't have programs like this? I'm curious what your guys' take on that is.
From someone who wasn't from here and who has decided to stay here, I think it is, I think we've used the word probably too many times today already, but connections really matter. And I think you think when you say the word connections that it's only like personal connections, like, oh, you're just making friends. But it really isn't just about making a friend. It's about finding your place in that community, but also in your career. And those two things go more hand in hand. The older you get and the more you like stabilize yourself in your careers. And when I first started, it was really lonely. Like I knew my coworkers, I knew a couple people from law school, but you're not seeing those same people every single day. And you don't want to do the same thing every single day. And you don't know how to step out of that zone. And so I think having these opportunities for people to just step out, meet new people, and do that in different types of settings, whether it's like going to an off the clock where you're having, appetizers, or where you're, doing morning buzz because you have early mornings. It's different, or, breakfast club now. It's just different ways to connect that fit in your schedule, but also like give you a reason to put yourself out there. And being new to the community or being fresh out of school and all your friends moved away, it's hard to make those connections otherwise.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to jump in? Otherwise, we have about 4 minutes left, and I do have another question. But if you had something you wanted to share.
Yeah, I'll chime in too. I don't think Victoria could have said it any better. That was exactly what I was thinking too. But just having that space as a young professional where I can connect with other people like me, whether that's, someone else feeling like they have imposter syndrome and just being able to connect about that, or connecting with another young mom who's also, in her career and trying to balance, that new mom, full-time job, and just being a woman is by itself. Just finding that space, I think, has been really valuable, and definitely helps make this place a home. I know through the leadership program, I've talked to so many people that have said, I grew up in Fargo. I felt like I knew everything that was here. Then I started going to YPN or the leadership or whatever program it was to the chamber, and learned about so many new places and things in the community that I wasn't aware of before. So I think just having some of those opportunities as well is awesome. I'll plug the mystery lunch that's coming up as well in September. I went to my first mystery lunch a couple months ago, and it was the coolest thing ever. I got an email after I signed up that said, hey, you're going to Blaze Pizza. Someone will meet you there. So I walked in, I placed my order. There was a group of, young professional networks individuals sitting at a table with a little sign. I just sat down and got to chat with them, kind of learned about what they do. And it was people I probably would have never met had it not been for the Young Professionals Network. So it's just provided so many great opportunities for me that it would be a real loss to the community if it wasn't a thing.
Sure. Those are great stories. Kevin, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I've been in those situations. Like Fargo-Moorhead has, a lot of good businesses, good restaurants, good places to grab a drink or what have you, or just even events in general. And it's like, well, it'd be great if, depending on your situation, but if you're, like, well, I'd love to go to this place or try this new place out. It's like, well, now you have a specific event you can go to and, meet new people or, cultivate those relationships so you're not kind of take the guesswork out of that. And as well as events, like some people are, morning people, some people like afternoons. So there's always something, they're always adding new events and things to kind of fit all people's schedules. So it's nice just to kind of fit that in. So it's not like if you miss an event, like it's always going to be in the morning and you take yourself out of that conversation, you have other opportunities. And you maybe like say for the YP Summit, if it's you like events and like to learn and grow and really hungry for that's another good opportunity outside of just the relationships in general. So
yeah, very good. Well, thank you, three. So I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to give 2 quick chamber updates, but I do want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thanks for sharing. I learned a lot about the YP Summit.
Can I just thank our sponsors for YP Summit super quick?
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to DS Beverages, Flint Group, Bobcat. We've got AdShark, Marvin, Starion Bank, and Western Bank. So just want to give them a shout out. I feel like I would regret that if I didn't. Thanks for that.
You should be the host. Do you want to? You should. You're good at this. Okay, I think you have 20 seconds, which is great because I want to shout out the fact that we have a Pulse event coming up soon, and this is on tariffs and trade.
Yeah,
this is on September 9. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be, I'm very interested in that stuff. So if you have any interest in what's going on, not only nationally, but globally, this is going to be a very, very good one.
Don't miss it.
Okay.
Don't miss it.
Yep, don't miss it. YP Summit, October 8, of course. We chatted about that a little bit today. And that is from 8:30 to 4 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn.
Yep.
And both of those events, you can go to the Chamber's website and sign up. And I will cut my updates there so we can close out the show. Thank you all very much for being here. And we will see you at the Summit on the 8th. And we'll see you back on this show next week.
Yay.
Thank you.